Welcome to the Sisters Uncensored podcast, where we get into everything from childhood trauma to millennial adulting and all things in between.
We share crazy stories from the past and present to help us cope with the insanity that is our lives.
By sharing our perspectives, we hope to bring some relatability, laughter, and unsolicited advice that can help you survive the messiness of life along with us.
My name's Jessica Labita. I'm a millennial mom, wife, and marketing professional, and I am absolutely insane.
My name is Ashley Lanive. I am a millennial stay-at-home mom, avid golfer, and too mouthy for my own good.
We are real sisters, and this is Sisters Uncensored. Take this trip with us.
All right, so this episode, we are going to be talking about kids' sports today versus when we were young.
Yeah.
We all played sports. We played every freaking sport.
Yeah.
Soccer, softball. Our parents coached a lot. Football for Mark.
Cheer.
Yep. We
I
did
was a cheerleader.
dance.
Yep.
We did a lot.
Yeah, we did a lot.
A lot of
Especially
sports.
like for 4 kids, I felt like we did a lot. Were there things that you like wanted to do that you didn't get to?
Sports-wise,
Yeah.
I came home one time and I asked if I could play football
Oh, amazing.
because Angelina in my
Oh,
class
yeah.
wanted to play football, and her mom told her if she can get another girl to play that she was allowed to play. And I was like, sure, I'll play. Like, not thinking, oh, okay, my mom's going to say, no, this is like a predominantly boys' sport. I'm not
Right.
putting a helmet on my daughter and sending her out on a football field.
Yeah.
And I wasn't allowed to, but she still got to play, so that was good.
Oh my God. You know what I wanted to do and mom would never let me? I remember when they used to have like the Memorial Day parades and things that used to walk across our front lawn and all the girls were twirling the batons.
The Cavaliers.
I wanted to be a Cavalier so bad. So bad.
I didn't know you wanted to be a Cavalier.
Oh my God, so bad. And mom would never let me because
Why?
they practiced on Sunday and we had to go to church.
Oh. Well, listen, you still got time. I'm going to get you a, what is it, a baton?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I would be an awesome baton twirler. I'm going to buy one.
You're going to take your eye out. I can just see it. Oh my
how'd you
God.
lose all your teeth? Baton.
Baton. I've been practicing real hard. That's so funny.
But we did a lot. Like, we
we-
got to do everything
Yeah, we did.
when we were young.
We played we all found our sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mark
At
also
some point
played
in time.
hockey. Mark played hockey.
That's an expensive sport.
And football. Hell yeah, it is. I
Mm-hmm.
have friends whose kids play it now. It's expensive, definitely.
Dad-
Well, any kid's sport nowadays is expensive.
Yeah, well, that's true. I don't think it was anything like that when we were kids.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, we were able to do, I think, all these things back then with 4 kids because it was different. It's not the same as it is today.
I think there's a lot more competition now.
Yeah, I mean, think about your daughter. She's 4.
Yep.
How many different sports does she do?
So she does ballet, tap, hip hop, gymnastics, soccer, and martial arts.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Uh-huh.
She's 4.
Yeah, and she's 4.
So my kid, I have 2 very different kids, obviously, which you know.
Mm-hmm. I've met them. They're nice.
You met them, they're nice. That's good.
Met them. They're nice.
My daughter is very much like not a team sport player. So we put her in dance when she was young, like your daughter, and very quickly realized she's a baby giraffe and this is not her jam.
It's so funny that you say that because we were at my daughter's recital this weekend and I'm looking at these ballerinas and dancers and their legs are like a mile long.
Yeah.
And Jess's daughter is tall and has these long, gorgeous legs. And I'm like, oh my God, she would have made such an awesome ballerina.
No, she's clumsy.
Yeah, no, she's a
Clumsy
giraffe.
AF.
She is a baby giraffe.
Yes. So we quickly realized she wasn't a dancer. So we're like, oh, cool. Maybe she's like a soccer player. We put her on a team sport. She played soccer for a while, but then like her team dissolved and she didn't want to be a part of it anymore. So she was like, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm not doing this anymore. And then we did horseback riding. We do art lessons. And she ran track last year.
She'd be good at that.
Up until, and she was until we got a puppy. And then that fizzled
Dissipated.
out
Okay.
very quickly.
I can imagine.
And then just recently she told me when she gets to high school, she wants to play tennis.
She'd probably be good at that too.
Well, yeah, maybe. But I was like, so here's my thought. I was like, oh, cool. Like, you're going to be in high school next year. You want to play tennis? Why don't, like, we belong to a country club? Why don't we
Start
get
taking
you some lessons?
lessons?
You can get a racket maybe.
Yeah.
You know, just start
little
trying
Wilson.
to play, see how you like it before you kind of step in there.
Yeah.
She's like, nah, I'm just going to do it.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
going in blind.
Right. So you have that. We have that kid, and then we have my son, who is the quarterback of his football team. He's been playing year-round baseball, travel and in town since he was 7.
Mm-hmm.
He plays in-town lacrosse. He played travel lacrosse, and everybody always told me with him, because he was involved in so many things, they were like, you're going to get to a point where you have to like choose what he's going to play, because you can't do all of this forever. Mm-hmm. And like some things are the same seasons when they get to high school, like baseball and lacrosse. So they're like, you're not going to be able to put him in both of those. And now that he's getting a little older, we've gotten to that point where it's like, what do you really like and what do you want to commit to? Because 1, it's super fucking expensive. And
right.
2, you can't be everywhere for everything anymore. So what's your thing? Because that's where we got to go. And that's what we've been doing. So like he scaled back on lacrosse.
I think that's a good idea.
Focusing primarily on baseball and football.
Well, I mean, also like, and this is just from my conversations with Mark. So our brother was like super athletic. You know what I mean? He was good at everything he did. His one regret from like high school was that he didn't focus on one sport.
Yeah.
He was constantly doing a sport every season, and in every off season he picked up something else, and he wishes he focused on like just one that he was good at, that he liked.
I think that's a valid point for when they're in high school.
Yeah.
Like I think
when they're little.
I think by the time you get to high school, you should have that figured out. Like, where do you excel? What do you love?
Yeah, what are you
most
good
passionate
at?
about?
What are you
Right.
not?
Yeah. And I think you have to be real about that. And that's the big problem with parents today, is that like everyone wants their kid to be a fucking superstar in everything, and it becomes problematic. But like I think by the time you get to high school, you should know where you want to go and what you want to do, and not do everything.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it right and you're parenting, I think, appropriately, that sort of happens organically.
That's good.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of my hope for my son.
Do either of your kids play an instrument?
They did. Carly...
That's not the recorder?
No. Carly did really well with... She was taking violin lessons.
Oh, yeah. She did do a violin for a while.
Again, not her thing, so it fizzled out. Mm-hmm. And then Trey played the ukulele. And he still does.
Shut up.
And he's good at it.
Oh, I want to see him play.
Yeah, so him and Rob sometimes will like take out the guitar and the ukulele and they'll play together.
Oh, that's cute.
Trey's actually very musical, but I think because he's so athletic, he doesn't feed into that stuff as much as he probably could.
Okay.
And Rob's really good. Like, he could teach him, but I don't know. He doesn't, it's not like really his thing.
Interesting. Mila was telling me recently she wants to take piano lessons.
Oh, that's fun.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love that.
One more thing.
I always wanted to learn how to play the piano.
I know, we never had a piano.
We did have a piano. Lindsay took lessons.
What?
Yes.
No, she didn't.
Yes.
What?
Yes. When Dad moved the business out of our house, there was a piano in there. I don't know where it came from.
I don't remember this.
But there was a piano. And you could ask Lindsay. She took piano lessons. She probably can't like play chopsticks, but like I mean, she really, right? Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
that's all we got.
That's all we saw.
But she definitely took lessons when Dad moved his business out of the house. There was a piano down there, and I don't know who gave her the lessons. I just remember somebody showing up and like,
I have zero.
Lindsay would take a piano lesson, but yeah, I don't know.
I played the flute.
I remember you playing the flute. Lindsay played the clarinet.
She did. Did you play an instrument?
I didn't.
Huh. Interesting.
I didn't.
Interesting. So, all these like activities and stuff with these kids today, it's so different from when we were young. Like, we had travel softball and like high school softball or whatever, like town softball. I don't think you really went that far. I never played on travel teams when I was young.
Neither.
It wasn't like a big thing. Now,
that's a huge deal.
you can't, like, if you play town anything, like, you're a dud loser. Like, that's how it's perceived. Like, you're not anything special, and you will never become anything. You will never go to college. You will never do this. You will never do that if you just play, like, in town.
What if you are like an amazing athlete though and you can't afford to play?
So this is the problem, and that's kind of where I was going with that. It's like a lot of people potentially can't afford to play all these club teams, and they are so freaking expensive. We paid.
Do they offer like scholarships for it?
So I sit on the board for football, and I know like if we have hardship cases that come to us in town and like they're legitimate, we will make sure that the kids get
but
to
that's a town
play.
league, like
but that's
you
a
said.
town league, right? Not for no club team is gonna, I don't think, allow you to play for hardship because it's like a multi-year commitment, and if you can't afford to pay the
But that's
fees
what I'm saying,
to play,
like a scholarship program for
No.
it.
I don't think so.
Well, that's something maybe somebody should look into.
Right.
Because that would be nice.
So this is part of what I was like saying is that like you had these travel teams when we were younger, but now everything is a club team or a travel team. And if you don't have the money to play or the time to dedicate because you have multiple kids or whatever the situation is, you're screwed.
Your ass out like a G-string.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Who would have thought?
It's ridiculous. So my son's travel baseball, it is 4 to 5 days a week practice.
I know. We're on that Life 360 thing.
Yes.
And that kid gets home later than everyone. He's my last alert for the night.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't believe how many nights a week he's out
So he practices
doing that.
and then he also plays town lacrosse at the same time that he plays baseball. So sometimes he's at lacrosse, but not very much anymore because it's just too much for him. Like if he wants to focus on baseball, he has to. But it's like 4 days a week practice, and then we play tournaments every weekend, and usually it's 2 games on Saturday, and then depending on the outcome of Saturday's games, you play Sunday. So like my social life is non-existent.
Yeah, I was gonna say
anymore because
you
of
can't
kids'
do
sports.
anything.
Yeah, we don't even know most of the time where our tournaments are going to be the weekend, like the following weekend, until the week before. So like if you were to be like next Saturday, let's go do XYZ, I can't even commit to you because we have a tournament. I have no idea where it is or what time it is right now.
That
I'll find out
sucks.
sometime next week.
That sucks.
And then, even if I commit to doing something with you on Saturday, he's got a game on Sunday, and I don't know what time that is until Saturday's games are finished.
that sucks.
Yeah, it's shitty.
Ew.
It's
I don't
really,
like any
really
of
shitty.
that.
I know.
You know, Mila's dance school has they have competition dance for kids her age. And I was like, there's no way I'm signing up for this. One, because she's 4.
Right.
All right. So like the way I see it is this is supposed to be fun. We're supposed to see what she can learn, see if there's any kind of talent there, see if she enjoys it. I'm not putting, and I'm a competitive person, but I'm
Yeah.
not putting competition in my kids' head at 4 years old when it comes to like,
It's a whole nother level.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not doing
competitive
that.
dance and cheer is like the top of the crazy, in my opinion.
we have a friend who their daughter does competitive cheer, and she was like, it is, I don't even know what we got ourselves into.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was like several days a week. You got to show up. You can't miss more than 2
Oh, no.
practices.
Yeah, you're kicked off the
I'm
team.
like,
But that's
aren't
the
I
case-
paying you to be here?
That is the case with every like kid competitive sport today.
That's
And it was
crazy.
never like that, I feel like, when we were younger.
No, I don't remember.
So
it
here's
like
the
that.
other element of competition too that comes into play with all of this, which is like, I don't remember it being like this cutthroat, but
Okay.
not only are you competing, the teams are more competitive with each other, but the players within the teams are now competitive within each other for stats, for placements, for different things. And like if you have too many kids, say on a baseball team, and one kid is not playing as much as another kid, these parents are paying a fortune for their kids to be there.
Oh man.
And they will lose their
Oh no.
shit.
Oh no.
And I feel like so many people today think that their kids are fucking superstars, and they're not.
That's hilarious.
No sense of reality has been retained any longer with children's sports. It's like everyone's fucking Derek Jeter or whatever, and that's it. And like if your kid doesn't play, The moms go bonkers. The coaches get berated. And I have literally seen adult friendships destroyed.
Are you serious?
Over kids' sports.
Ew.
Because your kid played more than my kid, and now, fuck you, I'm not playing anymore.
Well, who's the better player?
Right, well, that's how it should go. But if your kid's not the better player, should they be there?
Maybe they shouldn't be there.
Right. I don't know. So you're like seeing 10-year-old kids
Or
get
like
cut from team sports, and then parents can't handle that, and it's problematic.
From getting cut from a sport?
Mm-hmm.
People get cut from things all the time. That's what happens.
But this is real life. This is what I'm saying. But,
Yeah.
but today everybody gets a trophy.
Oh, God.
So the mindset is not where it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I try to be pretty realistic about this. I would say, like, my kid's a good athlete. Sometimes he has, like, head game issues where, like, he gets really hard, like, down on himself. He gets hard on himself.
He's hard on himself, yeah.
And when he gets into his bad space mentally, he doesn't perform as well as he can. He has better potential sometimes than his head allows. But for the most part, he's a pretty good athlete. But then I see some of these parents, like in our town, who are like forcing their kids to be places they actually don't want to be, like because it was their aspiration to be, say, a college baseball player or in the NBA or whatever, like the dream was. And so they're forcing their little kids to play basketball, or they're forcing their kids to play football because they were a football player. And it's like, your kid is not you, so stop fucking living vicariously through your child.
I agree with that. Let me tell you, I signed Mila up for soccer the first time, and when she went out to play, she was 3, okay? She was literally 3. And I signed her up to go play, like, town soccer. And I was a soccer player. You know I loved soccer, and I was a good soccer player. When I saw her go out on the field and she was just, like, in the net, like, picking flowers.
I mean,
and, like,
everyone at 3 years
totally
old.
get it. But to me, I was like, oh, my heart is broken. Like, you're not good at this. How are you not good at this? You got to be better at this. And it broke my heart because I was like, I'm not signing her up for next year. If this is what you're going to do, that's a waste of time. But she does another program now, which is way better than the program that she was in. But either way, I was like hoping to see some improvement.
Yeah, and I think that's...
But it broke my heart.
So this is why I think it's important, to your point earlier, where when kids are little, to let them try anything and everything.
Yeah.
Because you never know what they're going to take to, and they're not you.
Yes.
Like, I was a soccer player. I'm a softball player still. I still play softball in a women's league. Like, I enjoy doing team sports and being competitive. I run competitive races, right? Like, I do things like that. I always have. Carly's not that kid.
No.
It's not her thing.
It's never going to be her thing.
And was it hard for me to, like, come to terms with that at first? Yes. But I will tell you, as soon as I stopped forcing my agenda on what I thought she should be doing and allowed her to sort of explore things that I didn't ever do as a kid, but
she thrived.
She did.
Yeah. She's an excellent artist.
And I think as parents, that's something that, like, people really need to, like, stop.
Chill.
Yeah.
Chill out.
It is crazy town.
And they're kids. Like, let them be kids.
I know.
It's okay to have fun.
That's the other thing, too. It's like, if you're forcing 2 sports every season on your kids and they're at practice every night of the week, at some point they're going to burn out.
Right.
If they're too young and putting too much effort into this and not able to just be kids, to where they're going to fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Even if they love it.
I know.
If they don't have any downtime, they're going to be like, eventually this sucks.
Yeah, that's true. I get that.
So it's like a fine line. Like, when are you pushing them too hard as a parent versus...
How much is too much?
Right.
Yeah.
And with the way things are today, where everybody's an athlete, everybody plays in these, like, club teams, everybody's getting private training, at least anyone that's, like, involved in this stuff and is paying the money to do it because it's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Your expectations, I think, are that something's going to come out of this. My kid's going to, and I don't know what the expectation is. Maybe it's my kid's going to be a better athlete. Maybe it's my kid's going to go to prep school for high school. My kid's going to get a college scholarship. My kid's going to play in the MLB. Like, I don't know what parents' expectations are for this, but I feel like people today are maybe a little more unrealistic.
I think so too. And I think, like, people forget that, like, how you were saying how, like, Trey will get in his head sometimes, and that's normal for most players. You know what I mean? Like, that's a normal thing. I don't think people remember that the Tiger Woods, the Tom Bradys, the Derek Jeters, There are only a few, like a very, very small amount of people are that great. Okay.
So I think that's what I'm saying. Like the chances of you actually getting to become a professional athlete are freaking slim. So
no less being the greatest in the sport.
Truth.
Like, come on.
Right.
Like, let's be, and not to shoot down anybody's dreams. You got to put a lot of work in. At some point, too,
like
there
Tiger
has
Woods,
to be.
He's been doing this since he was what, 3 years old?
Oh
2
my
years
God,
old? Like
yeah.
when they could walk, he had a golf club in his hand. Like it's different.
And I think some people are just like naturally fucking amazing.
Yes.
At that specific talent, whatever it might be.
Agree.
You know, like I think some people probably force stuff on their kids where they're not that great at it, and you're just like when you're talking about parents bitching because their kid didn't freaking play as much as the other kid. Right. Well,
or like parents complaining that my kid's not playing this position and he should. Like, I'm sorry, who are you to tell the coach where your kid should be playing?
That's not cool.
It happens to us all the time. So everybody wants to run the ball in football. And if you run the ball in football, you're getting hit.
Yeah, you're going to get hit.
Hard. And you have kids that'll be out on the field like crying because they don't want to block, let alone take a shot. And yet their parents are on the sideline being like, why doesn't he get to run the ball? And this is daddy ball. And only the kids whose parents are coaches are the ones running the ball. Yeah, because they're the ones that are getting crushed and killed out there because their parents are coaches. So if anything happens, nobody's going to freak out.
Yes.
But your little Petey over here cries just like trying to block a guy on the line. If we give him the ball and he gets hit, he's going to die and cry like a girl and never come back. Like
exactly.
Everyone wants
very
their kid
slim
to be
chance
the
it's going to
star.
be a rip their filthy head off Jakester moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Icebox. Oh my God.
Spike don't play.
Oh my God.
That's the Gronkowski of
the best
of fucking kids
ever.
That's literally what I was thinking about him when I was watching that roast.
Loved him.
Oh, Gronk is Spike don't play.
Oh
Spike don't play with girls.
So funny.
So funny.
It's nuts though. Like the competitive element of kids sports today is out of control.
I'm sure it is.
Like
I mean,
my
there's
kid
a lot
is
of positives
12 years
too.
old. He's telling me, I want to go to this high school. I want to work to try to get a scholarship. I want to, like, we put him in all these camps. Like, and sure, we feed into the dream, but like, realistically in my brain, I'm like, I don't know if this is actually going to happen. And I'm okay with that either way. And I try to level set those expectations for him too, to be like,
I think his expectations are realistic.
I don't know. No. If you ask him like what he's going to do, he's going to be a 3-sport athlete, professional athlete. Like he is going to be better than Bo Jackson in his mind. That's his life goals.
Well, all right. Okay.
Right. We're a bit ambitious.
Overly. Michael Jordan.
Like, I'm sorry, guys, it's not going to happen. So
2 out of
let's
3.
try to like dream a little more realistically.
I think that's fair to say. Yes.
Like if you make it to college on a scholarship, great.
Maybe just like one hurdle at a time. Let's not overpressure ourselves here. You know what I mean?
But this is the thing with these sports today is that they almost are so serious about how they're training and treating these kids that it's almost like you can't help yourself but think that way because you're like,
you start getting tunnel vision.
Otherwise you're like, why am I doing all of this? And it really should be about a kid playing a competitive sport and having fun.
Making friends, learning rules, teamwork.
Yes.
I feel like that's what matters with those things. One of the positives that I'll say about being in any kind of organized sport activity, whatever it is you really do make really good friends in there.
Yes.
I like that shit.
Yeah.
I like to find my people in those.
I feel like
those spaces,
especially when things get this crazy as they get older and there's so many like practices and things you have to be at, and having multiple children, if you don't have like that group of moms and parents to like be there with you, you will lose your fucking mind.
I'm sure.
You will lose your mind. One, you need help getting kids to practice. You have to help taking other kids to practice. You could be going in 2 different directions depending on what kinds of kids you have. Like I have a boy and a girl, they don't do the same things, but I have friends who have 2 boys who play totally different sports and they compete with each other time-wise. So one parent's going this way, one parent's going that way. I can't even imagine having to do this with more than 2 children. I would lose my mind.
So our parents coached like almost everything for us.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they really did. They coached softball, soccer,
Yeah.
t-ball, whatever.
And we do too. I mean, we coach football. Like Rob coaches football. We're
Yeah. Do
heavily
you think
involved.
if Carly played sports that you would have coached a team?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't think she would have listened to me.
That's my problem too. I think the same thing.
Yeah.
I
think
I
she,
couldn't coach.
I
my
actually
kid.
think kids are better off not being coached by their parents.
I agree with that.
And I know, like, even with Rob being a coach for football, Trey's a quarterback, so he's on the offense, and we have offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators for these kids. So my husband is not his coach.
His coach, yeah.
If
I
that
got
makes
that.
sense. And he has no input in what plays Trey is calling, because then there can't be that blame back and forth, like, you told me to do this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
is
just
what it is.
I think the conflict of interest in general is no good.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had situations with Mark when he's coaching where it's like, oh God, you gotta bench him.
I
Like,
know.
you gotta bench him.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, bench him for like 3 weeks.
I have no tolerance for my kid acting like an asshole.
Oh my God, sportsmanship. One of the kids in our family went through like a phase of like bad sportsmanship, and we would see it and we're like, what the that's not tolerated
No.
under any circumstances ever. I don't know, like sportsmanship was a big thing for us
Yeah.
when we were brought up, you know?
And honestly, today, because of how competitive everything is, if you don't have good sportsmanship and you're not kind and you don't make an effort to be respectful of the refs and the umpires and
Yeah.
whatever,
You're done.
like that's a part of, like, if you really truly are in this to be something or try to
Yeah.
get something out of it in the long run, regardless of what that might be, a better education, a scholarship, or a
Right.
pro athlete status at some point, you're not going to get there without that.
Yeah, that's
It's not gonna happen.
That matters. That was
Absolutely.
rough watching that for a little while. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I couldn't
No,
imagine.
I would never want to coach my kid. Maybe when they're like little, like we coached Carly's t-ball team when she was little, but like,
Yeah.
you see with soccer, they're like running around and half.
Oh, that broke my heart.
Stupid. It's
It's
like-
like, how are you not naturally amazing at this like me? It broke my heart. I was so sad. And it was so funny too, because I had signed up Mila to go and play. Sam and I did it together with her son.
Yeah.
And I texted her like the week before, and I'm like, so I got to get shin guards, cleats. She's 3. And she's like, Ashley, I don't think you're understanding what is going to happen here. Like, just send her in some sneakers, shorts, and a t-shirt. She'll be fine. I'm like, but she needs shin guards and cleats. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
But
And
as they get- God.
she went to go and kick the ball into the goal. Like, this is like
Yeah,
little
yeah,
net
yeah,
thing.
not even a real net.
And like she didn't even kick it in. She just kind of like fell into the goal like on purpose, face first. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? I was devastated.
This was us
It broke
watching our
my
first
heart.
dance reset. I was like, oh God,
You know
not
what,
a
though?
dancer, not a dancer.
Here's the thing. I do think that like my expectations weren't very high. You know what I mean? When it came to dance. She's not the most graceful, but she loves to dance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, let her do it. You
Yeah,
know, like whatever. It's not like she's some excellent dancer.
Right.
It was.
Well, but they learn and they grow, and if they love it, that's a huge part of it.
I think it's one of those things too that you have to give it enough time.
Yes, agreed.
Like some people pull out after one season. They're like, oh, this isn't for my kid. Baby giraffe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's fine. To me, I'm like, you're 3. I'm expecting you to do,
In
like,
all honesty,
really bad.
so many of her friends are dancers now, and I like almost wish I didn't pull her out, but the recitals were so painful. I was like,
Oh, come
I don't
on.
think I can sit through this. It was not like your daughter's recitals. It
Well,
was
my daughter's
not
very advanced.
the same.
Just kidding.
It was painful.
Oh.
And I was like, no, I can't. It's all day.
We did
And
get.
then, but yet with my son, I spend full weekends doing shit, and it's because I love those sports. Like,
Yeah.
but I enjoy being there.
Yeah.
Or like the stuff I don't like, I don't know. So it's bad. 'Cause
Yeah.
your bias still kind of gets in there somehow.
Well, I'll
whether
tell you
like
what,
it
I
or
was
not.
I was pleasantly surprised this year because I told you I signed her up for soccer when she was 3, and it literally broke my heart. I still feel the sadness in my chest. It hurt me so bad that I was like, how is she not like naturally amazing at this?
Kids are done.
It made me so sad. It really did. It made me so fucking sad. I was like, oh, come on. But I skipped a year, and then her school started offering soccer programs. So I signed her up for the one at school. She did it like last fall, and then they had a spring one, and I'm like, we're signing up for this. So, because she liked it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, she's a little bit older, whatever. She got a soccer ball as part of that program. We were kicking her around in the backyard. She can dribble. I'm like, yeah, yes,
Yes.
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 Bring this to me, please.
Yeah.
Please be a little soccer star like your mama, please.
Aw, it's nice. You got to
we'll
hang
see.
with it though, but it gets rough.
Yeah.
It gets rough. So it makes me laugh because you were talking about how she needed like all the stuff, and like now when they're older, they need all the stuff because it's status. So like in baseball, they call it drip.
Oh,
And if you have more drip than that guy's got drip, then you're better.
Oh, okay.
So we have to have like an oven mitt in our back pocket when we slide, because if you don't have the oven mitt on, I guess you're not a good slider. You have to have the necklaces and all the things. I watch these kids get up to bat and they're like,
That's excellent.
you're 10. Like, you're not Alex Rodriguez. What is happening?
He's like, I'm giving it up to JC. All right, mind your business.
It's so funny. But yeah, drip is like a real thing in sports. Lacrosse is a very drippy sport.
Really?
They wear like one-legged leggings under their shorts, and like, I don't even know.
And it's just style.
It's all
Interesting.
like sports fashion.
I had to get 3 pairs of dance shoes this year for Mila for one of her dance classes because her feet grew out of them. I'm like, God damn it. They're like $20, $30. And I'm like, oh, come on. Are you serious?
Oh no, like these baseball bats are like $500.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's ridiculous.
I'm like, oh, Lord.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
when they
Lord.
play different leagues or different like like different divisions or different even like classifications, like there's like
Levels?
USABL, there's Little League, there's like all these different classifications of baseball. So you can use this kind of bat in this division, but you can't use it in this division, but you can use this one in this division. But if you're on the bigger field, you have to have this bat. So by the time you're done, like, and they get to high school, you've spent $5,000 easily on fucking baseball bats.
Yeah, I don't got time for that.
It's absurd.
That's too much.
It's absolutely absurd.
By the way, I did participate in your softball league last summer. I was
know.
quite proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too.
I will not be doing it this summer. I'm going to be out of town, but it's not the point, okay? I probably still wouldn't do it because I don't remember the last time that I sprinted just from a dead stop into a sprint. I had like shin splints.
I can't even tell you how many pulled hammies we have in this women's softball league because of that. Like, women do not sprint anymore.
Well, also, like, I don't know, I was put out there to go and run for somebody, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, I'm here to play.
Right.
Like, I'm here to play. I couldn't even fucking throw a ball like a normal person. It's been so long. It was embarrassing. I'm not even kidding. And it was horrifying, actually. But I got put out as like a runner, and I was going to get onto second, and I slid into second. And the girl who was holding the ball was just like, you're safe. There's no way I'd be sliding if I were you. I'm like, what do you mean?
I'm definitely competitive, but I've gotten to the point now after playing for many years where I'm like, it's not worth it to get hurt. It's not worth it to go to jail. Like, there was early on, and like when I first started playing, like we were ready to fight bitches. Like, it was super competitive.
Yikes.
Now I have no fire in me for any of that shit anymore. I'm like, I'll be here to have a good time, drink a couple cocktails while I'm like playing, but otherwise, no.
Oh, well.
No, I don't need surgery. I've seen too many like ACLs.
Yeah, I saw that
blown,
too.
Hammies. Like,
I was like, oh my God.
No, I can't. I can't be out of commission. Like, I have too much shit to do.
I don't know. I just
Not
saw
worth
one
it.
of the girls when I was like sliding, and she's just like, oh, "You're safe." Like, nobody slides.
get an A for
I'm like, "What do you mean nobody slides? We're here to play." Like, what the fuck? I didn't understand. I was like, "You got to be kidding me." Meanwhile, I'm showing up to play golf the next day. I got road rash all the way up my freaking
Oh,
leg.
yeah.
I'm like, "All right, maybe I don't need to slide."
It's still kind
It's
of
all right.
badass, right? To have like road rash, and then you go to work at your corporate job the next day in like a dress, and everyone's like, "Wow, what's your leg?" You're like, "Softball."
Softball. Oh God! If I
I'm
ever
an
have to go to
athlete still.
I'm never going to a corporate job ever again.
Trying
That's
to-
7th layer of hell. No, thank you. Nope.
Oh, my
Drown me in the
God.
never-ending loads of laundry before I'll ever go back there.
You're too funny. All right, let's wrap this up. So I think the message is make sure your kids are playing sports for the right reasons.
Sportsmanship is very important.
Yeah. Be supportive of their feelings and what they like to do and not what you like to do, because maybe you're not the same and maybe they have different skills and talents, right?
I agree. give them some time to figure it out. See what they're good at. See what it is that they actually like. You never know. You might find something that they like that's completely off the charts, but they end up really excelling at. You never know. So just give them some.
But don't let them be quitters.
I was going to say, don't let them be quitters. And also, if they suck at something, make sure you tell them, hey, this ain't for you.
Right.
All right?
Exactly.
I love you, but you suck. And pull the plug.
100%.
All right?
Yes.
Not everybody needs to be
and save all the parents whose kids
winner.
are actually good and belong there when your kid sucks and is bringing down the whole team. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. Well, wow, that was a lot. Okay.
I mean.
All right. You know who we're talking about.
You know who you are.
Just kidding.
We don't have any of those on our team.
Definitely don't. If anything, it's fine. It's fine. Never mind. It's fine. All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye.